Of course, so what's it like being back in Mississippi?
I mean, it feel amazing to me because not all my family members can be able to come to Troy every game. So being able to play here in Mississippi, being from Jackson, only 2 hours away, I get more family members to come watching me play. Not just me, the Troy family. So
How many are you expecting? Do you know how many family members you're expecting?
about 50.
What was their response to that when they found out they
They
were
was
gonna be able to see you?
they was just most of them was just excited because this gonna be their first time coming to see me play this year, and by this being my last year in collegiate basketball, so they just excited.
Did you grow up a fan of Mississippi State or anybody in state or anything like that?
My brother a Mississippi State fan, and we got a couple Mississippi State fans throughout our family, so hopefully they won't be cheering for them.
Caitlin, I know, last year I think y'all had to go to Oregon State, and that was just kind of a tough game for y'all. What do you think you learned from that? And I know that was the first time the program had been to the tournament in a long time. What do you think you learned from that game and will make you kind of better off this time around?
One thing that we definitely learned, because of course they were bigger than us, they were a Final Four team, and one thing that we took in was we were saying we're going to shove out. And that's one thing that we carried over into this season. And instead of just boxing out, we're going to shove out. And with that, every time we've out-rebounded teams, because of us shoving out, we've been winning games. So that's one thing we learned from that last year. So we're taking that in with us this year.
I'm sure at this point you've watched some tape on Mississippi State and everything. What have you thought about them? What do they do well, and what do you have to do to kind of slow them down?
They're a very physical team, but we also have to be physical also right back at them. But, one thing is just we always just have to crash the boards and rebound and make sure that we just take care of what's on our end. Oh.
The coach mentioned the style of basketball that you guys play. Can you guys both talk about what you notice, how you play affects the other team, both offensively and defensively, in terms of possibly speeding them up, rushing them, frustrating them, discombobulating them, however the things that you see and it affects the other team?
One thing that we've taken care of, or ever since I've been here at Troy, Coach Rigby's all about running. And, of course, in the off season, we're not big fans of that because conditioning is very rough. But, at the end of the day, we're thankful for our weight coach, Coach Lemons, because she pushes us to our absolute best. And because of her and, the staff at Troy University, we've been able to outrun teams because just how Coach C, she says we're 15 strong. We can play all 15 people, and not very many teams are able to do that. And so because we're a running team, 5 can come out and 5 can easily come back in and pick up exactly where we left off. So, again, whenever we run, it's just we just have someone coming in quickly right afterwards in case we need a break or anything like that. So we're very excited about the system that we play because it's up tempo, and we strive to shoot 100 shots a game. So that means we're running and we're pushing. As soon as we get the ball on the other side, we look to score in 7 seconds every single game. And so that's one thing that we cherish, and that's one thing we take very seriously.
Coach, compared to the dynamic that Schaefer runs, he always talks about the depth that's in his roster. So can you kind of shed some light on your roster? Because we were looking at you guys' packets, and your team has a lot of space and a lot of good minutes.
Yes. There's almost not we almost don't allow a superstar in our program because even our best players play barely 20 minutes. Our best player might average 22 minutes a game. So we're 15 strong. I think in almost every game this year we played at least 12 because maybe we had some injuries, but in most every game we play 15 players, which is very unusual. Yes, I saw that Coach Schaefer and them also, they say that they have depth on their team, and that's going to be interesting. But, the key to that is for the 2 minutes that the players are in there, maybe 2.5 minutes, that they play as hard as they can to be fatigued when they come out and have a new pair of fresh legs in. And so that's just a style of play that we want to maintain, and it's gotten us this far. I think it really helped us win the Sun Belt Conference tournament. Our depth actually won it for us. And so we'll see if we can make a run in the NCAAs with it.
Clarissa, am I saying that correctly?
Clarissa,
thank you. Can you tell us why Coach's philosophy has been so successful? Because she said the other day that she credits her assistant coaches for developing, you guys fundamentally in X's and O's and things like that, but that she takes a lot of pride in her ability to motivate you guys. I can imagine that running all the time and pedal to the metal could be challenging. So how does Coach get that out of you as much as she's able to?
It's not just Coach Rigby. It's all of her assistant coaches as well. But Coach Rigby is the type of coach that will motivate you, be there for you whenever you need her, and the assistant coach is the one that push you, like, make you to your fullest potential. So.
Question. Clarissa, I know Mississippi native. What's it like? I know being back in Mississippi. What kind of a challenge does it bring in facing a team like Mississippi State?
It brings all types of challenges. Because I know I always wanted to play against Victoria Vivians in high school. By her being in 2A, she went to Scott Central, and I was in 6A, and I played at Forest Hill High School. I never got a chance to play against her. That was always one of my goals. But now that I am actually able to play against her, I think it's going to be exciting for me and my teammates.
Did you play against anybody on this roster in high school?
Not that I know of, but I played against one of my teammates, Jayla Chills. She went to Inawama Community College, and I went to Colin, so we played against each other.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, ladies, you're dismissed. Thank you and good luck.
Good job.
Okay, we'll start with Robbie.
You mentioned that you really want Clarissa on your team because of her ability to win championships, I guess. What makes her such a special player, and why you feel like you need to turn to her and the team kind of turns to her?
Well, it's interesting because when I recruited her from Copiah Lincoln Community College from west of Mississippi, the game that I got to go see her play in, she tore her ACL. They were undefeated at that point. And she tore her ACL. It was a tough injury, as you can imagine, and so she got released right in time for our season, but she never really got back to 100% throughout our regular pre-conference and conference. But I made that statement back then because, somebody who's taking their team to 5 championships on 3 different levels, high school, junior college, and Division I level, they know how to win, and it's sort of like her pace of the game. She can give a burst of energy to gain momentum when the team most needs it. Skill for skill and toe for toe, I wouldn't say she's the most talented on our team. I wouldn't say she's the fastest on the team or anything like that. But knowing how to win, she's a master of that.
Coach, I was just wondering, I know there's been some teams that have run like that 15 deep style. I think of like Grinnell on the
Yes.
side and stuff. I'm just curious, where did you develop it? Was it from the Grinnell
Right.
system?
Dave Arsenault, that was at Grinnell. And everywhere I go, if I go to a coaching clinic, I just try to look on the itinerary and see if anybody's talking about playing fast or disruptive defense or scoring quickly. If not, I ask around and try to find out who knows about it. Kind of built a group that I think of like a committee that I ask questions about and try to learn from them. But that's one of the places it started. That's where I first got my interest in it. And when I got to Troy, they were building a brand new arena, a beautiful arena there. And the team had been down before I got there. They had only won 2 games the year before I got there. And so that was, and I was a junior college coach trying to get my first Division I job. So that was kind of one thing I wanted to sell, is that we're going to be interesting before we get good. And we did. We went from the year before I got there, the team averaged 49 points a game. And my first year there, I think we averaged 86. And every year we've led the Sun Belt Conference in scoring. And so it's exciting to see. And I just love it for women's basketball because I've always, growing up with brothers, I've always had a mission of I wanted girls basketball to be exciting. And you score a lot of points and you use every foot of the floor on defense. It makes it exciting.
So did you do the same thing in JUCO?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like I've gotten better at it. And when I got the job from junior college to come to Division I, a lot of colleagues called and said that my run with that style of play was over, that it was never going to work. And I even scratched my head and thought about it, stayed up many nights thinking, am I going to try to continue to run this system? Because everybody that had experience that I knew in Division I that was giving me advice said that it's never going to work. You just can't run down the floor and score on people like that in Division I. But it's all I knew. I wasn't going to beat anybody in an X's and O's war. and I didn't want to play any boring basketball. I'd rather do something else than do that. So I just stuck with it.
What defense do you plan to run tomorrow? Because I know Mississippi State has, as you do, you guys have many weapons to offer. So what kind of defense do you plan?
We, well, coming in as a 15 seed, playing the 2 seed, we're going to throw everything we have at them, everything that we can possibly pull out of the hat. We don't want them to get in a rhythm. Their rhythm is dangerous for us. So, we have from your traditional man-to-man to your zones to some junk defenses, and we run a half-court trap kind of defense. That's been really effective. It's a different type of defense, a buzz defense. So we'll throw whatever we have at them to try to win the game.
Coach Rigby, I know when you talked about earlier coming to Mississippi State, saw it on the screen that y'all would be playing in Starkville, but Mississippi State, tough team. What do you see in them and overall as a team?
Well, when I think of Mississippi State, I think of very good athletes. Like year in and year out, and I know because I was in Mississippi on 2 different occasions, and one is a junior college. I was the head coach at Holmes Community College there in Mississippi. And, so I would often recruit against Mississippi State for the same athletes. And so I know what kind of athletes have been here in the past. It seems like now, though, it's more I don't know. He's got a good plan to go along with the great athletes. It seems like he's really got you can look at film on this team and see what they're doing, which I always say that's a sign of a good team when you can watch them and see what their objectives are. So I would say it's like great athletes with a great plan.
When you're playing your system like you want to play, what's the biggest effect that it has on the opponent? Does it rush them? Does it frustrate them? And then how does the way that you guys play defensively, how does that complement it, and especially when it comes to forcing turnovers?
Yes, it all goes together. The defense and offense feeds off of each other. So it all goes together, and I would say the first effect we're trying to have is in the fourth quarter for there to be fatigue. So if there's a great shooter, we hope to have challenged her so much in the game and having to run down the floor and play defense quickly that maybe she doesn't have any lift on her shot. Maybe they're not as mentally focused as they were at the beginning of the game. So that's the first thing is fatigue. But basically we want to take them out of whatever they want to do at all times. That's our fight during the game is to constantly try to take the other player out of what she wants to do at all moments. Whether she's trying to run in the lane, we want her not to get there. We want to go off course. Whether it's she wants to get to the rim, we want to have to make her pull up and shoot a jump shot. Whether it's whether their best player wants to rest for a second on the defensive end, we want to take it to her and make her have to get down and guard and then make her really work to rebound.
Then I guess if I could ask one other thing in terms of the motivation that you talked about the other day in doing that with the young ladies. It's not a trick. I don't mean to minimize it by saying that, but how have you gotten them to buy in to the system? Because playing that system for 40 minutes requires a lot of effort and a lot of commitment to conditioning. You have to be mentally and physically strong. So how have you gotten them to buy into that system?
It's a good question. Well, first of all, we all believe 100%, my staff, myself, everybody around our program, we believe that we have something really special in our system. It doesn't work if you don't have players with a lot of heart. So it's not necessarily the system that makes it special, but it is a good system for players who have heart and who have that fight in them, like Carissa Banks, like Caitlin Ramirez, you just saw here. So we believe in the system. We think we have something really special with our team. And since I've been at Troy, that's kind of been what I've pushed is breaking records and doing things special and doing things that have never been done before. We celebrate every first that we have in the system. You know, we had our first 20-win season. This is our 3rd year in a row, but when we had our first 20-win season, we celebrate that. We celebrate every victory. This year, I think we lead the nation in rebounds. For a long time, we led it in scoring. 5 years in a row, we've led the Sun Belt in scoring. I think 3rd in steals. So everything that we can find to celebrate as first, we celebrate that. And so that kind of adds fuel to the fire that we're doing something special. Keep going. We're doing something special. So here we are at the NCAA tournament playing Mississippi State, who we have a lot of respect for. And we have an opportunity to do something else special.
We have time for a couple more questions. Coach, they let you off the hook. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all. Thank you all. Thank you.